Welcome to the Shanti podcast, where Marie and Alphael delve deep into the world of tourism. Today, we welcome Dynast Amir, an expert in the tourism industry, particularly focused on the remarkable expansion of tourism in Africa. Join us as we explore the immense potential and vibrant culture that Africa has to offer, and how it plays a pivotal role in the global tourism landscape.
All right, this will be our first podcast with Shanti Network. It's always the first time for everything, so I don't have a mic, right? That's fine. I think that we can record better. So we have Dynast. The first thing we will ask you to introduce yourself for those who don't know who you are, so we have more accurate information. I mean, I know you're very popular as far as Africa and everything. It would be good to hear from you, and then we will go from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am Omoba Dynast Adewale Amir. I own a travel brand called Donfo, and then I have a media brand entitled In Search of Uhuru, in which we document and spotlight travel throughout Africa.
Okay.
I'm Marie. I'm just here to talk to you guys today. I don't have much going on. So
you have a lot going on.
Yeah. So it's nice to meet you, Dynast.
Nice to meet you too.
I'm looking forward to learn a lot from you. I like that you have the ability to just travel all over the world. That has been my dream for a very long time. And so far, I think I've only hit 2 countries. So, yeah.
Well, all over Africa. My focus is Africa.
Oh, Africa?
Yeah.
Why Africa?
I'm drawn to Africa more than anywhere else. Okay. So I'm not really interested in seeing other countries until I've visited, everywhere I wanted to see in Africa first.
Okay.
So Africa's priority when it comes to travel.
Is it something like, how did you come up with the idea of just traveling Africa? Is it like something you just woke up and they're like, let me do this? Or
It was a backstory.
Yeah, it's I'm gonna tell you the backstory. Yeah. So in 2011, I was working in corporate America, and again, I was doing very well in sales, making good money. And a friend of mine, his name is Fitzgerald Stevens. Shout out to Fitzgerald Stevens at Find Ways to Win. I called him. I was telling him about my successes in corporate America at a company called Centos, and he was like, "Take a vacation, go on a cruise." So originally, I was going to go to Brazil. Brazilian women. All my boys, they would say, you go to Brazil, you get a villa, 2 girls, and have fun. So I was going to originally go to Brazil. My host, the lady that was going to host me, she went to the University of Georgia with me. She backed out. So then I was left with, where am I going to go for a vacation? So I called another friend of mine. His name is Yishak Abraham. And he said, go to Tanzania. And I said, okay. So I started researching Tanzania. And there's an island off the coast of Tanzania called Zanzibar.
Yeah.
I didn't know Zanzibar was a real place. At the time, I was living in LA, and there was a nightclub in Santa Monica called Zanzibar. So I said, okay, that's confirmation. So I ended up going to Tanzania, and I fell in love with Africa. So while I was in corporate America, I said every vacation I get, I'm spending it in Africa, nowhere else.
Okay.
So that's how and it just grew from there.
And how many countries have you been to so far?
Maybe like 14.
Wow.
But there's people that have been to more than me. There's some people that have been to all 54. But yeah, like 14 so far.
So about your travel agency, like, do you get to bring them when you're coming, or do you just like?
No, so I bring people to Africa to come experience it. When I received my title, my role in Nigeria as Omoba, which is Prince, one of my responsibilities was to bring awareness to the kingdom of Odoruo, where I'm a prince at. So I said, okay, let me bring people so they can come see it for themselves.
Okay.
And then it just expanded from there.
How did you get to be a prince? How did you earn that title? How did you?
No, so I have roots from a kingdom in Nigeria.
Okay.
So, the king said, you left as royalty, you're returning back as royalty.
Back
so,
to your roots. Huh?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So about, I understand you also played football.
I played football and ran track at the University of Georgia. Blew my knee out my freshman year. So I ended up I was still on a football team, but I primarily competed in track and field. So I was a sprinter. So, I played sports all my life. So primarily football and track growing up, and then in college, football and track as well. For the University of Georgia, go Dogs. So yeah.
Is it something that you still want to do, or did you leave that?
Oh, I'm 43. My sports career. Yeah, my sports career is done.
I thought you were like 34.
Thank you.
You look so young, and you're like so built up.
I drink plenty of water. I work out. I use shea butter and black soap. That's all I use. And I wouldn't say my diet is the best. I like to eat. I have a sweet tooth, so I sometimes indulge in ice cream and chocolate brownies, and I take care of myself. Like this morning, I got up, I ran, got lost, so my run was a little longer than expected.
Yeah.
But I got to explore, Nairobi some on foot running. I came to the gym, worked out, took a shower, and then I said, you know what, I have some free time, so let's collaborate and do the interview. So.
All right. Actually, one of the questions I wanted to ask you was what motivated you to start the Search for Uhuru channel, but you talked about like creating awareness with the Nigerian.
And then the word Uhuru means freedom. It's Swahili.
Yeah, it's freedom.
And so since Tanzania, which they speak Swahili, that was the first country that I came in contact with, and the first African language that I came in contact with. So that's where I got Uhuru from. So.
Do you ever visit other places in Africa where you get like traumatized and you're like, I don't think I want to go back there again?
No. There hasn't been a country yet that I've said I wouldn't want to go back to. Okay. Now, they might not be priority, but I wouldn't mind going back to.
Okay, is Africa somewhere you'd rather, you'd prefer like buying property, settling there?
So, I think it was Putin. Putin said that Africans, and I'm butchering his quote.
Yeah.
He allegedly said that Africans, they leave Africa, they go to Europe, go to the West, and they spend their best lives. I mean, their prime in Europe or in America or in the West. They circulate their money, their ingenuity in building the West, just to return back to Africa to be buried, where they come to Africa back to Africa to die.
Exactly, yeah.
So where I'm at in my life now, like, I'm 43, I feel good, I'm in my prime. Those years going to be focused on Africa. So, I'm not buying any more real estate in America. I own a home in America. I'm not buying any more real estate in America. I'm not having any more children in America. I have one son in America. Everything else will be done in Africa.
Okay. That's nice. I'm glad you really fell in love with Africa, because there's a lot of young people here trying to get over to the West and like try to build life over there, and then it gets complicated when they don't understand really what it takes with the culture shock and everything. So
it's not easy because there is this, like Africa was telling me, and he has a point. America is the only place where you'll walk around and find loose change on the ground.
Yeah.
Like you won't find loose change on the ground.
Yeah, true.
And anywhere in Africa.
Okay.
So people think the roads in America are made of money. So they're caught with that illusion. Then they actually come and they see that it's not easy.
It's not easy. True.
It's hard work.
Yeah.
So
maybe Pascal, maybe you can tell us like moving to America and stuff like that, like being an African moving to America and moving back. Which one is easier? What is your point of view of people who are really excited to win lottery cards and just move to America? Like, what's your point of view?
I think it's more a mindset. I think it's more a mindset because, like you said, when you hear you have you think that when you, like you said, you always think the grass is green on the other side until you get to that side and realize that it's not what you were thinking. But I would say, in general, it's more about perspective and opportunities. As much as you have opportunities in Africa, you also have in America. I think it's more about how you explore your options. Because I won't necessarily say that Africa is better or America is better. I think it's the same thing no matter where you are. But the main reason I say is a mindset, because I think you can be successful in Africa as you can be successful in America. It's just two different ground, different rules, different environment, different opportunities. It's more based on how you manage yourself and the people around you, your community, your surrounding. Me, I think that's the main point. I don't really, anywhere you go, I mean, I've been in Asia and Europe, in South America, everywhere I go is the same concept. It's more about the mindset and how you feel in your environment.
Okay.
Me, that's what I think it's about.
Speaking of mindsets, Dynast, what are some of the beliefs that you have, beliefs that you think like if we had, like Africans, we could like push and go for, or like just to refresh, why do you think, no, that's not the right way to ask that. Like some of the beliefs, just tell me like some of your cultural beliefs, like how the mindset that you have that has pushed you to come this far and like push you to the things that you have focused on to like be a success in that sector.
I love the continent. Like the first time I stepped foot in Dar es Salaam, and I flew British Airways all the way from LA to Heathrow to Dar es Salaam. And I got off that plane. It was hot, humid. went to passport control. No AC, I was sweating. I stepped outside the airport. The heat hits me in the face. People were selling their SIM cards. And I don't know, I just knew this was it. Like, Africa's the future. Like, it was something that just came on to me.
Was it a sense of belonging?
I don't know, it was just,
identity.
well, see, and that's how like the Uhuru part, I know, kind of shifting. That's how the Uhuru part came about. So when I exited the airport, you know, the locals were coming to me and they were speaking Swahili.
Yes.
And I told them like, I don't understand what you're saying. And so they started asking where I'm from.
But that's actually a sign, because people who don't know you coming to you speaking Swahili, I mean, they see you as the brother. They don't even realize that you don't speak the language.
Exactly.
That's a big sign right there. Yeah.
You know? So they started asking where I'm from. They're like, you South African? I'm like, no. You're Ghanaian? I said, no. And they asked like, where are you from? I said, I'm Black American. They're like, no. Where are you from? I'm like, no, I'm Black American. They're like, no. Which tribe are you from? And I said, I don't know. And I had to explain kind of, you know, the slave trade, and they still kind of didn't get it. So that's how In Search of Uhuru was birthed.
Okay.
Through that.
That makes sense.
So that's why I kept coming back, just to uncover my African roots.
It's interesting that you say that, because I noticed in America, right, most of the white folks that I talk to, they always know, even if they're like second, third generation in America, they always have a link back to either Germany, Italy, wherever they came from.
India,
And they kind of kept this, I don't know, this information about where they came from. I know we have a different stories. I'm not necessarily going to say that it was easy for us to keep our trace back originally, but I just realized that they know a little bit more than the Black American will, and I don't know if it's more about something that will affect their identity a little bit, like you said, that the search and
the slave trade. Slavery did a number on us, especially in America. You know, it did a number on us. You know, the slavery.
And I want to bring something controversial. I'm sorry that
No. Oh, please.
These last years, go back to ask you and a couple of guys in the United States.
Okay.
There is a lot of information coming up now that most of Black Americans are not necessarily part of the slave trade. A lot of Black American, I call them Black American, but they were already there.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
Before the slave trade.
That's not true.
I mean, some people have evidence to back this
There's
up.
no evidence.
Not at all.
Ask them what their culture was, what foods they eat, what
They have some trace back.
there's no. Again, just like, what tribe are you?
Luya.
So you have culture, you have certain dances, you have language, you have your own foods.
Yeah.
Like when you ask these Black Americans who claim to be Indian those same questions, they can't say anything. That's why that can be disputed in 30 seconds.
Okay.
Like why do you want to be indigenous to North Dakota?
I mean, I don't know.
Why do you want to be Black and indigenous to South Dakota? It's -5 degrees there. Like, why do you want to claim that and be indigenous to that?
True.
Yeah, that's what I was asking, because I was like,
And see, the thing is, they just the media hasn't made being African sexy enough.
Yeah.
You know, now you've had the Black Panther movie. You know, people get excited for like 3-4 months, then they go back to normal.
Yeah.
You know, again, being African just isn't sexy.
Yeah.
But for some reason, there's like this romanticism when it comes to being Native American Indian for some reason.
Yeah.
Even though they were completely wiped out, slaughtered by the Europeans, for some reason there's just this romanticism of being Native American. But yeah, there's no truth to it. There's no archaeological proof, you know, that proves that Black people were indigenous to America. It's a coping method, that's all, if you ask me.
I think it's the slave thing too, the slave trade thing
It's
that
slavery.
literally led
because
brought blacks into America.
Because if the average Black American takes a DNA test, they have more
African.
white European admixture than they do anything Native American.
Oh.
Some don't even have it at all. They should be claiming their Irish roots before they claim anything indigenous to America.
Yeah. So,
Definitely
yeah.
understand. And now, I mean, you have a question?
Well, not really. I wanted yes, a question. I just wanted to ask if you're any like form of religion, like are you religious or spiritual?
I'm spiritual. I am whatever Africans were before Islam and Christianity was forced on Africans. That's what I am.
First?
Yeah, before, whatever Africans did before Islam and Christianity was forced on them, that's what I am.
I saw a video on your channel about the Nigerian, was it a festival, something on the river?
Oshun.
I was like, what is happening? 'Cause is that like someone?
That's another show. It's a story behind, you know, the Oshun festival.
Okay.
So it's to bring to thank Oshun, the Orisha.
All right. Okay.
I did cover a little bit of the Orisha original. I kind of dig deep into the whole Orisha culture, because there has been a movement, especially among some traditionalists in Africa, to try to go back to the roots. And even in the United States, that's actually where I learned about the Orisha. When I was in Africa, I didn't know what it was. I learned that from Black Americans.
Right.
They taught me about this culture from Africa. They say, you're from Africa, so you should know the Orisha. I said, no, I don't. So they kind of educate me. So I went back and do some research. Then I realized that, this is, because when you go back to that tradition, it goes back to not just Nigeria, I think all like West Africa, with Benin, all the way down south. And when I dig a little bit deeper,
well, every ethnic group, including yours, you have your own origin story, your own religion, your own religion, your own gods. You have it all.
Yeah.
I would think
No,
I mean, am I right?
It is.
It is, there is,
When I
but
was
now-
digging deep, that's when I realized that, it has been a shift. A little bit what you said, what we were before all this religion came to Africa. And then when I started looking, then I realized that actually our fall came from the lack of understanding of that culture. Because Africa itself, before we bring all this religion, we have a culture and we have understanding of the divine. But the fact that I always say that our biggest downfall is ignorance. The fact that we didn't even ourselves understood what we were doing, that's when this culture get corrupted. And now today, for instance, when you take something like Orisha, it's not necessarily just at the roots. The teaching was precious. For instance, they would talk to you about, it was more about personal elevation.
Yeah.
It was more about what they call the Orisha gift. You can see that in other religion. You can see, because what I realized that at the end of the day is the same truth. That is just that's have different interpretation. The same way, for instance, if you go to like India and other places, they will talk to you about things like the different chakra and things like that, or the yoga. And then when you come to Christianity, they talk to you about the Holy Spirit, the saint, and everything. But when you go back at the root, you realize that what we had was actually a full understanding of all these concepts. It's just when you bring the missionary and they make it look like, oh, this is evil, and this is what is right, that's where the confusion starts. And then at the end of the day, we didn't keep a track of what was happening. It's just about this is evil and this is good. But never take the time to do a comparison analysis and understand that where all this comes from. I think that's the main problem. And today, with all this mixture, you have something simple. I used to say like something simple as maybe nature. Understanding nature, respecting nature, but all that also get mixed with spirit. Now at the end of the day, when it comes to the world of spirit, you have negative and you have positive. So how do you make a line between what is negative and what is positive? That's where the challenge is. Because we also, let's go dance, but what is the spirit that affecting what we do? Is it positive? Is it negative? And there is no clarification about what we do in Africa. They will tell you, go to that circle, do this, do that, drink this, jump this. But give me first the meaning of what I'm about to do, so I understand what I'm involving, what I'm putting myself into. But there's no clear explanation. Me, that's my problem.
Well, no, but if you ask, you can get the explanation. If you ask the right people.
Because usually, that's what our ancestor used to do. But how this has led you so far? Is it producing great result? Where are we so far? Me, I would like to, because you should start to break these things down. Then you see the good part, and then you can remove the bad. But as long as we keep mixing everything together, I think that's where my concern is.
But like he has said, there's different cultures, and there's every culture believes they have their gods and everything like that. When you go to every country, they have their cultural aspect of where they originated from and stuff like that. But when you put everything together, like literally everything, don't you think there's just like one entity that created all?
Yes, that would be the concept. But now when it comes to practical action, I think we'd be a little bit naive to think that everything we do is to worship that one entity when we know that all these things, I always say the positive and the negative. I feel like we have these two forces. I always go back to the Star Wars movies. We have the, how do they call that, the dark force?
The dark side.
The dark side, yeah. Me, that's how I see the world. I always see the world as these two polarity. And it's all about navigating through that positive side and the negative side. As long as you understand how you navigate through this, I think you're fine. But if you just embrace everything without understanding where to draw the line, me personally, I think that's where the concern is.
Okay. Well, can we go back to your ball, when you played ball?
The football.
Oh, okay.
The football.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
And it's American football, not soccer.
American.
Yeah.
We call it soccer.
In
We call
my
it,
head, I have like a ball, people kicking balls.
No, it's American football.
Oh,
American football.
Oh, I know
We
that.
don't kick the ball with fast.
Right?
I If I didn't get hurt, I'm sure.
Yeah, because I heard about the injury.
Yeah. If I didn't get hurt, I would have been there.
Okay.
Because everyone said you were like one of the best, great potential and everything.
Yeah.
So.
But then fate happens, you know.
Okay.
If I would have made it to the league, I wouldn't be here right now.
True.
That's how I look at it.
Should we be all grateful for the... Okay, never mind.
Oh yeah, I mean it sucks to dislocate your knee, but you know it's
everything
it
works
happens.
out.
Yeah, it
How
works
did you
out.
recover after that?
Yeah.
I'm still not 100%,
Okay.
but I remember when I was in high school, one of my teachers told me, he said, this is when I was named Albert. I literally changed my name too. My name was Albert Hollis.
Oh.
He said, Albert, no matter how things play out for you, you'll be okay. You know, that always stuck with me. His name was Brother Richard.
Yeah.
He said, if sports don't work out, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I just didn't worry about it.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, because from what I saw, you always have this great personality. You never get afraid of starting new things.
Right.
You move everywhere, you meet people. I mean, you build one of the most recognized brands today when it comes to tourism in Africa. So going back to that direction, how do you see your business grow? Maybe let's say the next 5 years. Where do you go from here?
You gotta expand.
Okay.
Gotta hire more people. Gotta really grow. So my concern right now is if something, and this is I think what happens a lot, especially with black-owned business in America. When something happens to the owner, the business just... So, like for me, it's about succession plan now.
Yeah, scaling that.
Scale. There you go, scaling. I got to scale. Finding the right people. So, like next year, 2026, it's going to be really about scaling and growing. Because I just don't, if something were to happen to me, knock on wood. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
I just don't want the brand and the vision to die.
And that's something that's a type of service we offer as far as rebranding your company and expansion as well. Because we look at it in terms of how to scale up, how to be able to put into place process.
And systems.
Process and system that will allow these operation to function without necessarily you always being involved. Putting a structure into place where we know, okay, here is a point of contact. Like if you have some schedule, have a structure, have thing already lined up. Pretty much we can work together to, like Kenya, that's one of the reasons, for instance, we think that Kenya will be one of the best locations because we have enough activities here, not just lifestyle, but also as far as if they want even to relocate or buy real estate. If it's just for a few days vacation, it's enough activities that can take place. But however, we need to structure these in a level where you can maybe put different pricing, provide multiple services, and not necessarily you only be in the United States, but also have people like here that can take over when you're not available. You can be like, all right, we have a group in Nairobi. Anything you need, even if I'm not there, like trying to expand instead of have small group. Now we kind of go wide enough where we can streamline this process. And we have like point of contact. Let's say we have an office in Nairobi, and whoever want to go, we might have like a schedule, and when they're here, they will be taken care of. It's already a schedule, things to do based on each client needs. So that's one of the reasons. But we can still talk about this a little bit later on and see exactly what direction we want to go. But I also want to ask, how do you see Africa growth since you've been, because you've been doing this for about how long now? Over a decade.
Night and day. From 2011 to now, night and day.
Yeah. So how do you see Africa growth so far, from where you first started to today?
So I tell people the first time, especially West Africa, The first time I went to West Africa, Senegal, I saw maybe one white person the whole time. I remember I was on a flight from Gambia, Banjul to Dakar, Senegal. As a black man, I was the minority on the flight. It was all Indians and whites. So they know what's coming.
Yeah.
It's just our people, especially black Americans, black people in the West. I think the problem is, like, black American, I'm black American.
Yes.
We're taught that we're like the, I don't know if the word is, so the supreme blacks of all the blacks. That, like, we don't have to look outside the borders of America. But if you look at what's going on in America, as far as, like, everybody's being priced out now. When it comes to real estate, even something simple as finding a place to live, to rent.
Yes.
Some people aren't, like, there's going to be no, like, you're going to have to look outside of America for opportunities. You're going to be forced to. And that's just going to be the reality. And why not Africa? Because I don't understand why, and you see this a lot, why some black people will complain about racism in America, but then say, I'm going to move to Italy. And then, like, I talk to my African immigrant friends in, like, Italy and France, and they're like, these Italians and French, they're more racist. Like, I don't get it. Like, everybody's just supposed to avoid, Africa.
Yeah.
I don't get it, but
I think he's also the media. I think it's much better now.
You can't blame it. We got to stop blaming the media. We got to stop blaming the white man.
The thing is, our
True.
Yeah, we got to stop. I mean, in 2025, we got to stop pointing the finger at the white man.
I agree with that too.
Why you're mad at the white man in America, but you want to go to the white man in Italy.
Yeah.
We can't blame the white man for that. That's just a mindset.
I agree. I totally agree. And I think this is another reason we have podcasts like this, just to be able to start producing our own media, our own way of seeing the world, express our own opinion instead of, like you're saying, it's more about that. Actually, that's one of the reasons I started even writing. I remember I went to see Black Panther, right? I mean, the movie was great, but there was a few things that I didn't like. And something just hit me like, oh, that's the thing. You guys want to expand black culture, but at the same time, you always wait for someone to produce something and then come back and criticize. Why you guys don't take ownership and produce this type of media, whatever you want to do, based on your own vision, based on what you want the world to see from you, instead of always having to wait for someone else to do it. So I definitely agree with you. We have to take ownership, responsibility, and produce the media that we want the world to consume and express ourselves the way we feel like this is what we want to say to the world.
Sure.
Cool.
I think that will help also with the mindset of Africans who are looking to, like, their main goal is actually just to travel from Africa, find life in the West. I mean, I went there, and in 1 year I was like, I need to go back home.
Where'd you go? What part?
Ohio.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That cold weather, that first winter.
I was like, yeah, it's too cold. That's not even the problem. Like, I saw the lifestyle, what people have to put up with, and I was like, I need to go back home and tell them, I did, but I don't want to listen. So maybe if it comes from someone who's been there for a very long time, it will make sense. But I think there's so much opportunity in Africa that people don't see, and I think even black people in America can take advantage of that. Just come back to your roots, And there's a lot of good opportunities, investment opportunities, growth opportunities. There's a lot of fun. People can buy real estate, build, have a home, and the weather is nicer. Winter is kind of very traumatizing. Really, really cold. So so this is what it's all about. That's much what we'll be talking about over here in this podcast.
Now, Dynast, I want to bring, you were talking about expansion, but beside expansion, do you have any other direction, not necessarily just for you, but as a whole, some advice you can give from what you see in Africa, what we can do to be able to emerge. Because I think one of the reasons also is that we don't see things in Africa as maybe more developed country like the United States. Some of the things that made the United States great today, that everyone want to go there. What can we do here to make Africa also be desirable? So sometimes I feel like we present sometimes negative image about ourselves, or we're not taking on. In general, from an American trying to give us advice, how can we go from where we stand today and become maybe a superpower of the United States?
I would say realizing that Africa is your birthright and protecting Africa at all costs and doing your part in building Africa. I mean, that's all you can really do. That's all you really do. That there are others coming in that see the value in Africa that you might not see, and who have no problem taking your birthright.
Sure.
You know?
And most of us are selling our birthright.
Yeah, giving it away.
Giving it up just
Crazy.
for free.
Alright. So, do you have any question you may?
No, I mean.
I mean, we still have a lot. I just don't know how much we've been so far.
What's the time? That was just 37. I thought it was like 2 hours.
I mean, it's a lot we can still go through. For instance, I saw you do a lot of interview on your podcast and trying to go back. You talk a little bit about religion, but I know sometimes it can be an easy subject, or depending on how people feel, it's a touchy subject. But I know we talk about things like the Dogon. So what information did you uncover so far in Africa, as far as maybe go back to the roots? I see you have the Ankh, things like that. Overall, what can you bring up that you uncovered so far?
That we have our own spiritual systems that predate Western religion. Okay. And that I don't know what happened, why we value Western religion than we do our own spiritual systems. Because if you notice, the Chinese, they still kept their indigenous religion, or spiritual system, they're going to call it. Same thing with the Japanese, same thing with the Indians. But for some reason, Africans, we abandoned our original spiritual systems for that of the West. That's a whole nother show, whole nother topic.
That's actually true, because when you look at the Chinese people, they're growing way too fast. The unity, the way they bond, and their belief system is all intertwined, so they kind of have this major super growth that goes on. It's actually something to think about.
Yeah, I mean, it's answer to that is just how ready we are to accept it. It can be challenging, but it's the truth to what you're saying. I mean, we can go back, it's part of, you go back when Constantine, after the Roman Empire fall, and the Roman Empire decided to go worldwide, this is the cross and the crown that Constantine had. So the new way of colonizing was through religion. And we can see that the best way to colonize people through religion was to use some of the truth that they had and use that truth against them. So when you go back even to Christianity, for instance, Ethiopian Christianity is way older than the Roman Christianity. You will see that the African Christianity predates the Roman Christianity.
Yeah, but the Europeans brought Christianity to Ethiopia.
It wasn't the European.
Europeans brought Christianity to Ethiopia.
It goes back to King Solomon.
No. European missionaries brought Christianity
to the Roman Christianity, because it's a difference between the traditional that we had and what they. Yeah, and I agree with you. I don't disagree. I agree with you. It's just the difference between what they brought to corrupt what we had.
But then my question becomes: was King Solomon even a Christian?
we don't even call him Christian. Jesus was
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
King Solomon wasn't
He
it?
wasn't a
Even
Christian.
Jesus.
If you
Yeah, like I
when
said,
you
the Ethiopian Christianity
Yeah.
is just the Africanized or Ethiopianized version of European Christianity. They just paint the pictures of that look like them.
That's, yeah, I mean,
That's
you can
all.
put it that way, which is the corrupt part of it. Because you go back to Egypt in Alexandria, where you have Plato and all these, Imhotep, all these guys, that's where they studied. And all that knowledge was taken from Africa.
True.
But
True.
this is the root of all the cultures who come to Africa. So they understood that our power was that knowledge, so they took that away from us. And that's why till today we haven't been able to recover, because if you don't understand who you are, you don't understand your true power,
True.
then you become like we are, a little bit lost and looking everywhere else but within ourselves.
True.
But that knowledge is coming back.
It's coming back. I think it's coming back.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely.
It's coming back.
It is coming back, but right now the kind of generation we live in is that people are so much programmed to believe what they are told rather than what actually exists.
I think this younger generation is different a
Yeah.
little bit. Yeah.
Because it's so obvious that's something wrong.
Yeah.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
obvious. And the proof are here. You go back to all these religions. Now we can go back deep. Even ChatGPT can debunk Christianity in 5 minutes. I'm not necessarily say that is because generally it gets complex. I think that's one of the challenges also. Sometimes we want to deal with this subject as something you can just say yes or no, but it's not the case. It's way deeper than that.
And it's the fear that has been instilled in some of us that if you talk against
Exactly.
it, we are actually going against
Exactly. You can
the spirituality, and then there is like spiritual repercussions and stuff like
If
that.
you have an entire family that, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 generations, they're all Christian, and then you come today and tell them, oh, I'm against this practice, I'm against that. It's like the entire family can just reject you. And some people feel like, oh, I must just keep playing, keep playing them, and so I can get along with my people.
If there's a way we can get to know who we are truly, I think that will be the beginning of the entire revolution for Africa, because we believe things that we don't even understand.
Start in your village.
Oh, that's exactly where we are told not to go.
Start in your village.
All right, so I think we pretty much covered everything. Thank you for your time. Thank you for coming.
Appreciate you.
It was great. Hopefully we can do
Appreciate
this
you.
again in the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
We just didn't want to talk about it. We just kind of brushed around most of the subject. But if you have something you want to focus on, you may.
No, anytime.
All right. Thank you, Mary. Thank you for.
Thank you too.